Welcome. This channel is going to be about PPC ads, and more specifically, is my take on it. And that's kind of why I wanted to start this, is because a lot of the stuff I see on YouTube and then also other social platforms is that a lot of people tend to first look at budget. And I think that is kind of a backwards way of doing it. I believe that you should look at strategy first and then budget. Let's go into that now. Okay, so first I want to go over a little bit about who I am, and then also who may find these videos useful, and lastly, uh, what was it? Oh yeah, my kind of beliefs of strategy and that sort of thing. So first off, who I am. My name's Sim, and basically my coming into the world of paid advertising is I did start out for after high school. I went to college and I started taking classes in architecture and landscape. And then I had a teacher tell me that there was no money there. And I was like, oh, well, you convinced me to drop your class. And then eventually I ended up leaving school for a while, and I went back home and I worked at a grocery store for like 8 or 9 years. So I took quite of a hiatus. And then I eventually went back to school, and that's where I really ended up falling into a degree for business management and an emphasis in digital marketing. And so with that, I ended up getting not a degree. That's what I got the degree in. I ended up getting a job at an agency there in the town of my college. And at that agency, I ended up doing Google ads for the most part. And then a few months in, my boss asked me if I'd be interested in trying to do copywriting. And I was like, sure, man. and well, needless to say, I didn't do that for long. It was for a financial brand, and so the ad, or not the ad copy, the copy that I was writing was very boring and repetitive. There's only so many ways that you can talk about their services. Like you couldn't get creative with it, in my opinion. But so yeah, I didn't do that for very long, but I was still doing Google ads. And then after I'd say maybe 4 months of being there, I was then asked to also take care of the Meta ads accounts. And so I started doing that, and here we are. So I ended up working Google and Meta ads for the bulk of it. And I actually just added up all of that. And in my time, I've now spent 1.5, almost 1.6 million. And that's combining all of my accounts. And so to some, that may not be impressive, but to me, I was like, cool. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit of my background. And that ranges from small businesses that only spent about 150 bucks a month all the way up to basically enterprise people, and they would spend 80,000 a month. And so I worked in a range in there, and it was service businesses for the most part, and then there were a few product companies. And so I feel like I got a pretty good feel for quite a different areas in this. This video, I'm not going over any strategies in particular. This is kind of just like my credentials video, and kind of covering what this channel is going to be about and who's it's for. But really, this channel, we're going to be covering Google ads and Meta ads, but then also we're going to dabble into AI. So just using tools like Claude, ChatGPT, those sorts of platforms, and where I think they're useful in Google ads and Meta ads. Again, there's differing opinions of that. And so I, for one, I'm still in favor of the human touch. but there are people that will use AI to completely automate it. And if the results work, great. Uh, in my few times and attempts of using AI to completely automate, it usually doesn't work well. And so that's why I kind of steer clear of that and continue to keep my own uh, touch inside of each account. And then also Canva. I use Canva on at least a weekly basis, if not more. And so I might throw that in here, but mostly it's going to be about paid advertising through Google and Meta ads. And so that's what this channel is going to be about. Just the content that I'm going to be making. Who is it useful for? Mostly it's going to fall down into about three categories. The first one is going to be students. So, mostly students in college. If you are learning about Google Ads or Meta Ads in a class, I'm hoping that kind of putting this info out there in front of you may be helpful for you. It may not be brought down to the simplest level, although that's what I'm hoping to do, is to just kind of like walk you through. And I'll make beginners videos and that sort of thing on how to set up and that sort of thing. But yeah, and then also the next category is beginners or intermediate marketers. Uh, if you're running ads, if you're running campaigns on these ad platforms, but you're not getting the results that you're wanting, that is what I hope to also help you with. Just because I've definitely been there. I've ran accounts that have no reason they shouldn't be turning results. But then, like diving deeper into it and then running it by some of my coworkers, it helps reveal things. And so sometimes what marketers need, even if you think you're an expert, sometimes what you need is an extra set of eyes or a different perspective. And that's one thing I want to make sure that I say is that uh, my content is not going to be for everyone. So I'm going to offer my opinion, my perspective, and strategies that I've done that have worked or not worked for me. Just because what I've done and the clients that I've worked on will not be a complete like strategy for you. So you need to look at your account completely separate and just kind of like take what I know and show you and then see how you can apply it to your own account. And then last category of people I'd say my channel is going to be for is business owners trying to run their own marketing, or they have, but again, they're not seeing any results coming from those ads. My hope is that you can watch these videos and realize that these platforms, you don't need a formal sense of education on them. You don't need to be hiring an agency and spending $5,000 a month on retainers. Uh, and 5,000 is a bit high for some, depending on your services. But again, like I said, I'm hoping that these results can kind of help guide you and make you realize that you can do this. It's not a hard platform to figure out how to get results from. With this part, I wanted to kind of just go over very briefly about what makes my angle about paid advertising a little bit different. So I'm just going to kind of flat out and say it. I've seen ads accounts that have been horribly managed. So just briefly, at the agency I work at, there's been a couple of times where we have done audits of other businesses' ads accounts that were interested in seeing if they could come over and we manage their account. And I've gone into those accounts and I have seen some horrible decisions. And it just blows me away because then it shows that they were burning through budget for years in some cases. And so my perspective on paid advertising is maximize the strategy and also all assets that you can before you start pushing more budget into it. Because if you are building on a bad foundation, then you're just going to burn through that budget, and it's going to be a lot more wasted money. When if you create a good foundation and you have a good strategy in place, you won't need to spend as much money to get the same amount of leads or more. So that's really where I feel like I differ from a lot of people. Now, that's not to say that other channels on YouTube don't share the same opinion. There's definitely some good channels out there, and I may link to some in the future. So, yeah, that's kind of where my opinion differs. And then also, like I said, I've worked on many different accounts, and their budgets have ranged from really small per month to holy crap, how are we going to spend that? And so that's kind of my perspective on this. The last point is why I am doing this. And what it really comes down to is 2 points. One, I feel like I can help people. So, like I said, students, marketers, and business owners that may feel stuck or they're trying to learn these platforms, I feel like I can help guide you through some of it or explain strategies a bit for you. And then also just add a different perspective to things. And so that's one of the main reasons I'm doing this. And number two, I recently have started working remotely, and I, even though I'm a pretty quiet person in person, yeah, uh, that lack of human interaction on a day-to-day basis is starting to get to me, and I want to make sure that I can still convey my ideas and perspectives, and also the data that's coming in through my different ads accounts. I want to make sure that I can convey that to people. And so I figure what better way than to make an embarrassing YouTube channel. And so those are really what it comes down to. I would like to keep this going for the foreseeable future, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. That's my goal of this, is to really help you and also help me. And so uh, I just told my boss the other day that I've been talking to the dog a little too much, which if I remember, I will throw a video of her here.
This is Tipper. She's a lovely little 4-year-old. She's a pit bull mix of some sort. We're not really sure, but she's cute.
But yeah, and so thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want. You don't have to. Or share this with someone that you know that, or share the channel with someone you know that might have use of it. This video is more or less just why I'm doing it and my credentials, like I mentioned before. So anyway, thanks for coming, and I'll see you next time.